I'd like to make a couple of points today. The first one I sort of already started on, which is with this new wave of digital emergence, it's change or die. These new companies that are starting up, because you don't have to have assets to become huge, the barrier to entry is very small. It's very easy for people to try things and pivot on a dime if it doesn't work. It could be a very scary thing for companies that have huge amounts of assets, and you watch somebody come up from ground zero in a very short period of time, and suddenly they're nipping at your heels. And certainly that's even happening out in the Valley, where established tech companies who have maybe fabs or who have large investments in what was a product now see software and data as the way of doing business. And this is kind of interesting to me. I'm a product person. I love building stuff. I like producing stuff, working for Apple and other places. So to see the new economy essentially be data is very different. It has been something that's been really interesting for me to wrap my head around, because it's not the old way of doing business. Even Google. So you take a look at Google. In this new economy, Google is now a telecommunications company. They're disrupting the cellular guys, who in turn disrupted AT&T, who was possibly the biggest of all companies for many, many, many years. The interesting thing is that Google, by becoming essentially a fiber and a telecom company, is forcing the other telecom companies of the world, including people like Comcast, to innovate quicker. But what's funding Google's ability to do this is their core business, which is essentially collecting big data. So the interesting thing here is that even companies that are data companies now are not resting on their laurels. They're looking for ways to go make more money, and in some cases, they're going back to an older way of doing business and building out assets, which I find very interesting. But at the end of the day, data is the new economy, and companies have to figure out how to fundamentally take advantage of this and do it very, very quickly. The other thing I'll mention is that, and this is actually something that's even shocked me being in the Valley for as long as I have, the pace of innovation in this space is going up at, for math nerds out there, kind of at a logarithmic pace. It's crazy. A couple of years back, 10 years ago, the new product development cycle was 3 to 5 years. 5 years ago, the new product cycle was, say, 2 years. Now, companies are putting out new products every 6 months. It's go, 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 go. And it isn't that they want to do that, because this is a breakneck pace that's hard to sustain, but the level of competition that's now in the market makes this a necessity. So not only do you have to figure out how to adopt the new technologies and take advantage of it, it isn't a one and done sort of thing. You have to constantly keep figuring out what's next. How do you innovate? How do you outdo? Because the competition is going to be doing that.